And moving right along puts us in that famous segment of Chitramala called Up or Up. The host, well-known Mr. Siptan Kazmi, who is the CEO of A Money Meta Mortgage Inc., located in the heart of Tysons Corner, Virginia. Each month, Mr. Kazmi brings in a rather interesting guest. On his set this morning, his set calls for Miss Downtown DC 2016. Would you like to meet her? Stay tuned.
Good morning. Siptan Kazmi in your living room with another episode of Up or Up. Today, as I mentioned before, that I bring people to my show from all different walks of life. Sometimes I have painters, sometimes I have poets, politicians, this and that. So today, we have in studio a designer, and a designer from Russia. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Katya. Katya, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you, sir?
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, first of all, thank you very much for coming to my show.
It's my pleasure.
And it's such a great honor to have such a talented lady like yourself.
Oh,
so tell me about yourself. Katya, where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Belarus, which is part of Russia.
Okay.
I moved to the United States 12 years ago.
Okay.
In search of a better dream, like most people do.
Of course.
And then I had my fair share of obstacles. Actually, I came with $40 in my pocket.
Wow.
And I was starving. I was homeless for a couple of days at a time. Then I was working like 90 hours a week at a fast food place. But I knew where I wanted to get in life. So now, 12 years later, I have my own company. I have a lot of VIP clients. I work with a lot of celebrities.
Okay. So when you say you work with a lot of celebrities, meaning in what capacity? Like you design?
I'm a fashion designer,
okay,
as you mentioned.
Yes.
Yes, so I make one-of-a-kind gowns for ladies, and very often they don't want something that they can buy in the store. They want something very unique, one-of-a-kind, where they know they come to a room and everybody's looking at them because nobody has seen this dress before.
Correct.
That's how it all started. So I've been working with different pageant contestants. Miss Virginia, Mrs. United States, Miss Bolivia, you name it, Miss New York.
Wow, that's amazing. So when you're about to design, let's say, a gown, what inspires you? What makes you?
It's funny, I get this question a lot.
Okay.
And the thing is, for me personally, there is no such thing as inspiration.
Okay.
I see a fabric and I know what this fabric wants to become. Or I see a girl and I know the kind of gown that this girl would look wonderful in.
Oh.
Or it actually happens to me a lot. I wake up in the middle of the night and like, boom, I have an idea in my dress. And I know if I don't draw it right away, I'll lose it. So I have to do it on a napkin very quickly or whatever piece of paper I can find. Yes. And then I wake up in the morning and I'm trying to recollect what was the original idea.
So now, like how painters, they see something that's like a vision they have, and according to that, they make the painting. So anything like this for you to make the dress?
Well, when I make gowns for pageant contestants, because in a pageant, the goal is to look beautiful.
Correct.
And then when you have 50 other ladies on stage, you need to be the most beautiful. So when I create a gown, I talk to a girl a little, asking what she feels comfortable in, what parts of her body she wants to show off, what she wants to hide.
Okay.
Because everybody's different, right? Everybody have different strength points.
Correct.
The same goes for the body. You want to show off your legs, you do a long slit. You want to make the waist smaller, you do a corset, etc. So when I look at a person, I kind of have an idea, and then after I started talking to them, knowing their personality, the idea develops.
So now, when you design something, is a fabric in your mind, and any particular favorite fabric you have?
Usually people have preference in terms of color, and it's also determined by the skin tone, the hair, the color of their eyes.
Okay.
Some colors look better on blondes as opposed to brunettes, for example, or darker skin versus lighter skin. And some people don't like glitter or sparkle, and some people prefer glitter and sparkle all over the dress. So it actually depends on a person.
So you said you came to this country about 12 years ago, and you had $15 more than what I had when I came
you
to
were
this
rich.
country. So I had 25.
Oh,
However,
I was richer. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
so at that time, you had an idea that you want to be a designer, or how did you come across doing this?
Well, I have been sewing for as long as I can remember.
Okay.
When I was about maybe 12, 13 years old, I started making clothes from my mom's old pillowcases because my parents couldn't afford to buy clothes. So I had
Oh.
to improvise to have something nice to wear. And of course, as a girl, you don't want something old and ugly.
Correct,
You want
correct.
something as nice as you can get.
Okay.
So I figured that this would be my way to making this happen. So, and of course, in my country at that time, it was after the Soviet Union broke down. It was very challenging. So we didn't have any colored thread or colored fabric. So I had to
Oh,
dye
wow.
thread to make dresses. Which, of course, in
Wow.
America right now, it seems absurd. You go to a store, you have like a million
Correct,
colors.
correct. Yeah, it's not even. So, I mean, like that's the designing part. And that time, from there, I believe
Yes,
you're saying
and
that you got into fashion industry. So but you know, usually when it comes to fashion, people usually think of New York or Miami or California. So being in DC, do you think it's that you are restricting yourself or anything like that?
Well, of course, DC is growing in terms of fashion.
Okay.
It's not there yet, but it's on the right path,
Ah,
I think. And I was also told a lot of times that DC is a very conservative city,
yes.
right?
Very political.
Political. Women wear something covered, gray, black, and dark blues.
Correct.
And if you've seen my dresses, you know they're not shy.
Yes,
They
I
are-
saw your fashion show. It was fantastic.
They are for women who want to stand out.
Yes.
But surprisingly, a lot of people in DC want to wear my gowns. And right now, actually, I have about 3-week wait list to get an appointment with me. So
Really?
people in our conservative DC, people do want the sexiness.
Wow.
People want this.
Wow, wow. Now tell me, Mrs. Downtown of America 2016.
16. Yes.
So the event is in 2016 or?
Yes, the event is in March 2016.
Okay.
And I will be competing for the title of Mrs. DC. And then if I
Wow.
win, I go to Mrs. America and then Mrs. World. But that's the next stage. I
Wow.
want to start with the first title. And
Is this the first time in a pageant?
this is my first time. And
Okay.
even though I worked with a lot of pageant contestants, this was something that spontaneously came to my head. And I thought, why not? I work with those girls all the time. Why don't I try and see?
I know a very good designer who can design your gown.
Well, I'm definitely designing mine. And
Of course, that's what I was referring to. So so how many ladies are in this pageant? How many contestants?
as of right now, there are 7, I believe.
Okay.
And actually, you sign up about a year before, and then for the whole
Okay.
year, you do public appearances, you do interviews, you build your platform, which for me is homelessness, because
Okay.
as I mentioned, I was homeless myself,
Correct,
so I
correct.
feel very strongly about it.
That's very.
And then-
hats off to you that from where you came from, and the struggle and all of that, and you're such a great position now, and
Thank you.
that's
Well,
really hats off. It's remarkable, as a matter of fact, that to accomplish.
thank you.
Because came from another country, and I know the struggle, but not to this level. I came with my family, so But that's really hats off to you that
Thank you.
you have done. So now, what are the preparations you have to do
For the pageant?
for the pageant?
Well, that's a lot.
I'm sure.
For each of the parts of the competition, you have to do a lot of stuff. For example, for the swimwear, you have to have, of course, the perfect body.
Correct.
But I have about 7 months to do that.
Okay.
So personal trainer, right diet, stuff like that.
Wow.
And then you also have to be a community activist.
Okay.
Because Mrs. United States pageant, it's not about just the beauty. It's about married women who have community achievements, family achievements, who participate in different charity events, fundraisers, stuff like this.
So family is a family.
You have to be married, so
Married,
family is
of
part
course.
of it,
So
business,
You
and
have
community.
children?
Yes, I have 1 2-year-old
So you're a boy?
boy.
Wow.
Very active.
Well, they say terrible twos. So, so that's part of it. It's a plus point for you to have a child. So you have to be married, and you have to have your own business.
Not necessarily your own business, but you have to have some achievements on the professional
Okay.
level.
So what kind of charity things you're doing for the pageant? or to be a
well,
contestant?
I'm part of actually a lot, and I'm proud to say that I'm part of a lot, because right now I'm in a position in my life where I can help people. And if it weren't for other people to help me when I was struggling, 10, 12 years ago, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So I am part of Make-A-Wish Foundation, which helps help kids with chronic conditions who have a dream, and we help this dream come true. I'm also part of the Autistic Society of Virginia, and we're going to have a fashion show actually next year.
Okay.
And they're going to have a fundraiser later this year. And then I also, because I'm a fashion designer, as we have mentioned before, I get invited to a lot of fundraisers, including the Operation Renewed Hope Foundation for the homeless veterans that happened last year. Then this year we had in Bull Run in Centerville, we had the We Will Survive Cancer organization for the families affected with cancer. Then I also worked with Johns Hopkins, also for the Cancer Society, helped them.
And there are only 24 hours in a day. How do you manage with a child, with a husband?
Good question. I don't know. I train myself to sleep 5 to 6 hours. So I always, no matter what time I go to bed, I always put my alarm clock 6 hours later. Because I read somewhere that 6 hours is actually enough for an adult person to get enough sleep.
Okay.
So I don't want to sleep
I
those.
need 10 hours, so I love sleeping.
Well, that's ideal, but eventually I'll get there to the 10-hour sleep, but
so
not
between
yet.
all the charities and being a mom and designing and the pageants, do you cook also?
Absolutely. My husband is from Moldova,
Okay.
so he, like a lot of Russian guys, he likes home cooked food, all from scratch. He doesn't like.
We do too.
See, you know what I mean.
We're the same way, yes.
He doesn't like
that's-
fast food. He doesn't like even restaurants. He's complaining about restaurant food, so I have to cook. And for the baby, when you have a baby, you don't have a choice. You have to cook.
Wow. So, our time is getting a little short, so I request to you to give a message, look at the camera, and give a message to upcoming designers or current designers. I mean, it's a fascinating story what you have,
Thank
that
you.
how hard you have worked and you have accomplished so much in such a small time. So give a message to inspiring and upcoming designers or contestants or anybody. Camera is yours.
Okay, great. If I could say one thing to you guys, I would say to never give up. Never. No matter what happens in your life, we all have struggles every day. Every one of us have different challenges we need to overcome. And we all differ in terms how we approach them. So my advice to you is never give up, keep going. If you have your dream, you're going to get there.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, never give up. As Obama said, yes, we can. And I think the first step is never give up. Katya, thank you so much. It was so much fun for me. I learned so much, and it makes me work. I'm going to go back to work now.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching another episode of Aap Aur Aap. Hopefully, I will continue to bring new and interesting guests to my show. And as Katya said, never give up. The struggle is for our lives, and we want to teach this to our children and anybody who wants to be successful in life. So thank you very much. It was such a pleasure. Take care.